Going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be playing City Skylines, which is one of my favorite games. But as you may notice, we're going to have infinite money, infinite demand, infinite resources, infinite everything. So pretty much just creative mode. Okay, so one thing I noticed is that I have a lot of areas to start out. So I've already unlocked all tiles. I've unlocked everything. We have, it looks like, 3 places to start our little town here. So goal of this series is we're gonna make a beautiful little town. So the first thing I'm noticing is that I have a really nice shoreline over here, so I'm kind of gonna leave this as it is, but I see that we also have a second one along here that's a little bit flatter, because if I go to my terrain heights, this is uneven. So I might as well start. You know what? I'm going to start here, because one thing that always kills me in this game is traffic. I hate saying it. I hate it's. But one thing we're going to do, and this is my favorite way to get from the highway to more local roads, is we're going to build a little intersection here, and then we're going to have our little highway roads, and these are 1 lane. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, that's actually disgusting. Oh, I actually like I hate that. All right, we're gonna go to 2 lanes then, just because it makes me feel better. So we're going to go out to this first road guideline, and we're gonna connect it up as close as I can get it, which is gonna be about there. And we're gonna do the same for this little road here. Boom. All right. Flip that around. Perfect. So now we have area for a train station here. We have fertile farmland, lots of areas for forestry. So let's check our natural resources. We got oil, forestry, a lot of fertile farmland, and a really great place for, looks like, ore. All right, so anyways, back to our little civilization I'm gonna build over here. I want to start out just going straight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go straight. Now I just want to have a little bit of guideline here. So because this is creative mode, I'm gonna go all out and do everything I can to make a functional and high value little city of Kovakia. Okay, so I've kind of built out a little bit of a grid here, and now because we have a population of 0, I'm gonna make sure, because mistakes I've made in the past is just make everything high density, all office buildings, and we don't really have the people necessary to do that just yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little area for some low density commercial, and then the rest of this I'm gonna make for residential. Okay, so one thing I do want to do is that I think I actually want right here to be a little park. So I'm gonna make this grid come out 1 more. Okay, and then I'm gonna make that a little bit of a park area. So we're gonna D-zone, and then we'll just leave that as it is. Okay, so now I need to worry about water and power. So first thing I want to do is worry about power. Now my favorites are usually green energies, because they not only they make a lot of sound, but they make a lot of power, so it's a little worth it. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with a solar power plant for right now, just because it doesn't make a lot of noise and it makes enough power for what we need. So now we need to worry about water. All right, so I'd like our water to be in close-ish proximity. So we're gonna just ride across the shorelines. We only need 2 for right now. And because I really don't like pollution, we're gonna have the our little water sewage treatment plant here as least, you know, like doesn't create as much pollution. So how we're gonna do that? We want our eco-friendly sewage pipes and some garbage collectors. Now we need to join all this up. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need some power connections, and then I think I'm ready to get started. Alright, let's go ahead. Oh, there's actually a couple of things I do need to worry about. Because this is pretty small right now, I'm gonna have a medical center there. I want death care. I do not want to use cemeteries because those are pretty prone to filling up. So we want a cemetery, or not cemetery, a crematorium. I do want a fire station. That's going to be pretty useful. And a little police station. So that should have us covered for right now. I also want a elementary school and a high school. We're going to add a library right there. So that should, for the time being, get us covered for this little section we've created here. So now I've noticed that it wants power. So what we're gonna do is, right here. Perfect. There we go. So we're now getting our first, should be getting 1,000 people here. There we go. So now what we're gonna do is, I do want to cross this eventually. So, trying to think what I want to do. Okay, so now I have a bit more room to expand my grid. So let's go ahead and do that. So one thing I'm not liking is this little terrain. So what I might do instead is round it off. So how we're going to do that is use the curve road tool, and that kind of helps me a little bit in the flat. Okay, so I think that's okay for right now. So we're going to make these all residential. As right now, I'm just trying to get a population increase to try to get to more of those high density buildings. Make sure water is all connected. Like that. Now we should be okay. There we go. So now while this place is growing and leveling up, I think I want to start working with garbage collection. So what I might do with this intersection here is create my industrial zone. Now, one problem I have with industrial zones is that they create a lot of traffic, especially farms. But right now I just want to work with this industry area. So one thing that will help is that once I get my little population increase is that I'll be able to get office buildings. So we are going to do the same thing we did before with our little roundabout. We're going to grab the large roundabout, rotate it to where it fits. That's fine. And now we're going to connect it up. Okay, so we have this all connected up, and one thing I haven't done just yet is I need to set right-of-ways. So you're gonna have, nope, not what I want. There we go. You have right-of-way, you yield, 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 and we're gonna do the same thing over here. Yield, right-of-way, yield, yield, yield. So I need to have, I don't want a lot of industry, as usually it's caused me a lot of problems in the past. So I'm gonna make some, looks like I need to have 4-lane roads for industrial roads. So I don't want cars going through here. So we're just going to extend these a little bit. I really don't want too much industry right now. And now I'm going to go ahead and grid this out really quickly. Okay, so like I said, I'm really not a big fan of industrial use. I mainly prefer offices, but for this build I'm doing right now, I might as well have some. We're gonna connect this up. Now, I need to focus on garbage collection, so I want to have at least 2 incinerators, and I'm gonna have a recycling center. And now, oh, you know what I can do? I can move my power plant, because these buildings don't really care about sound. But I'm gonna need to connect these back up. Like that. Okay, now I'm gonna zone for my industrial uses. Make sure water's connected, and that should start now. Make sure everything is... Oh, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, so while our city is still growing and these industrial zones are... Ooh, one thing that might help. Power connections. There we go. Now we're getting more industrial uses. So, now, one thing I want to do while I'm waiting for our town to start expanding a little bit more is I'm going to start working on this park right here. So, I want... Yep, it's just now telling me to build them. So, I actually want a city park. And our population isn't great yet, but I'm going to build this just for the ease of mind. I need park, and I'm going to get rid of it. Alright. I'm going to have my main gate closer to my main road. There we go. Okay, now I should be able to have our little side gates. So now, I want to have... Because this is a smaller park, I'm going to make a little T intersection, and I'm going to put some fences around here. Alright, so now I'm going to speed through this, but if you're doing this yourself, then make sure to pay like attention to detail if you're deciding to. Just starting the City Skylines, but I'm going to add quite a bit of detail with my landscaping and the buildings I have available right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and let's just see what I can do. Okay, so for right now, I do believe this is the best I can do for what I have unlocked, because there are a lot more buildings like gazebos that I want to have along these roads right here. So one thing I could have done is I could have used the roads that were already lined with trees, but I just like the creative freedom that it gives me with my choice of trees. So now, because I don't really want this to create a lot of traffic, I want more of a deterrent. So I'm going to increase my ticket price, and we're going to see what happens. I also want to make sure that my policies are okay, because I don't have to worry about money right now. Eventually I will, just for my ease of mind, but I want fireworks when it's at night, and night tours. Those two are some of my favorites. So, let's see what happens. We already have our first 4 visitors, and while this is going on, and while our industrial zones are... Oh, that would help. So, while our industrial zones are doing their thing, I'm going to start expanding this grid and seeing how big I can make our population. Okay, so I've created a little bit of a bigger grid, but unfortunately my terrain is a little bumpy here, but for right now I'm okay with it. So I've noticed we're having a little bit of crime problems, so I am gonna add a another police station, not a headquarters, a simple police station here. Let's check my fire cover ability while I'm at it. I'm going to add a fire station, same spot, and then another medical clinic while I'm here. These aren't crazy expensive, and they're decently easy to maintain. So, what I'm going to do, more commercial zones so I can connect power to these areas, and then we're going to line it with residential. I also need to get water flowing through here, but that should be an easy fix. Okay, so that should be okay for now. It looks like my population is still growing, and my park is level 1 still. Okay, looks like my visitors are still increasing, and my entertainment's just fine. So, while I'm waiting for all of this to happen, I need to start considering public transport. So, as you can see, traffic's already starting to build up a little bit. And one thing that's definitely going to help me is not having an industry. But one thing that's going to help is public transport, such as buses and metros. But since I have such a small little city right here, I am just going to worry about buses. And then as I grow, I'll start adding metro lines. So I want to have my bus depot. Ooh, look at that terrain. All right, we are going to move this. I don't like that. I'm going to move this where sound isn't a big deal. I don't really want it there, so why not have it here? That works. I know it's a little bit close to this roundabout, and that might cause problems, but one thing that'll help, just notice, these are all stoplights. We don't want that. They're junctions, and we're going to change these to stop signs. Hey, my park leveled up, but we're going to change these to stop signs. Alright, so now we need to make a bit of a bus line. So we're going to do that by going to transport, and we're going to move all the way over to our bus line. So bus lines don't necessarily have to start at the bus depot. I want them where they're going to be most useful, like this park gate. We're going to have one here. I definitely want one by the library. Where is my elementary school at? Well, speaking of which, I need one by the high school. Definitely want one there. I know these are in very close proximity, and that kind of bothers me. So I'm actually going to get rid of these. Now, I want these to where I don't need too many, because the cities, like the citizens, these guys are willing to walk pretty far. So might want to have one right here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and finish that. So I'm hoping that these buses don't start crowding up, which looks like they might. Actually, no, I don't think so. I think eventually it'll sort itself, but it looks like we're actually going pretty well. We're starting to make a bit more money, or we're at least floating around the the $4,000 debt mark, and it looks like I need a little bit more garbage collection. And as you can see, just these areas are creating a pretty decent amount of traffic. My traffic is at, oh my goodness, why is this so heavy? It's this interchange itself. I have nothing to do with this. This interchange is just not good. Okay, well, I don't have to worry about that right now. I need to worry about garbage collection. So we're going to have a second incinerator here and then not worry about it. So one thing I might do is I might extend this grid out a little bit more. We're going to go to 400 because that's usually where I find I get the most use out of my grids. Connect that up. And one thing I might consider is making a second grid here. I'm just going to connect that up. And then I'm going to connect that up and then reconnect power. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to get water through here and then see what we can do. Perfect. Residential, residential. All of this is going to be residential because my city's population needs to increase as soon as possible, so I can use some of these more unique features such as offices, so I don't need to rely as much on industry. Pick that up. Alright, so I don't usually like playing this game for too long. I've already been playing for about 32 minutes, and this is as far as I can get on creative mode. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And as you can see, we've gotten to about 5,000 citizens. So I think this is an amazing stopping point, and I will continue this series very soon. So thank you guys very much for watching. Really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and support me, as I've just started my YouTube channel. So once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.